Hi, welcome back for another video on Star Trek Fleet Command. 10 million Federation reputation. Yes! Finally, I did it. And it took me 42 days. Okay, 42 days. Where do I go to check the amount of days there? 42 days, 42 loyalty badges, so it should be 42 days. Okay, it's about 1.5 months. Okay, now before we go on into this video, let's just clear this. And yeah, so what? 10 million Federation reputation. So what? Now, it is not like one of you asked me that question, but it's rather me asking myself, like, so what? Yeah, it came to a point whereby I hit 10 million today, and I just don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's at that plateau, and yeah, because I do not have that kind of resources right now, and I do not want to spend any more resources to achieve it, so I am like, yeah, so what? Okay, now disclaimer before we go into this video, this should not be used as a benchmark because there are so many other factors that you need to take into consideration, like, what kind of player are you? For me, I do put some money into the game, and then for some of you, you do not want to. I mean, it's totally fine. I have nothing against that. I have nothing. People also, people who put in a lot of money as well. And yeah, you should also know that you can buy a lot of things using money in game, but reputation is something that you need to grind it out, and you need to put a lot of effort to make it work. And for those of you who have no clue how to get it done, well, good for you. This video I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna share with you very openly, open book, seriously. And if you have any questions, you can just post it in the comment sections down below, and I try to answer them, okay, to the best of my knowledge and experience. And if you have a better way of doing it, please do share, because I like to learn it as well and see how it applies to me personally as well. Okay, so yeah, what type of player are you? The other thing that you need to take into consideration is the researchers that I have, okay, the researchers that I'm concentrating on or I've invested on, and the buildings I have as well, okay. All these things play a part, okay. Not to mention what alliance or which alliance you're in also is a very big contributing factor, because if your alliance is one that is like winning a lot of ALBs, alliance leaderboards, that kind of thing, yeah, you benefit from the freebies that your alliance want for you, and you can use them to help you, to build on a much stronger foundation so that you can achieve this much faster. Okay, so yeah, disclaimer, so don't use this as a benchmark, but what I'm trying to do is it is possible, achievable, and you do not need to like take a very long time to hit the 10 million mark, under the Federation faction. Okay, now I also like to take this opportunity before we start to thank the many subscribers. I started this channel on SDFC with just 10 subscribers. Okay, now it's at 30. Thank you all of you for taking the time to smash on the subscribe button and liking the videos as well. I hope more of you, if you have not done so, to hit on the subscribe button, because I promise you, I'm gonna, as always, give you good value in content. Okay, and I also noticed there are new viewers as well, viewers who are not from any of my alliances and not from my server as well. Welcome to my channel, and I hope that you will find my videos to be beneficial to you. And if you do, okay, so give a shout out, which server you're from, that kind of thing. And yeah, do go and hit on the subscribe and like button as well. Okay, now, Abel, how did you do it? How did you do it? Okay, now just to prove myself, okay, 10 million, yay. Okay, and yeah, I really really want to have the enterprise. I guess the motivation factor to make this happen is to have a few things set in place, because if you have all these things, I was just reflecting, like 10 million, I'm the first to hit 10 million on my server, the second is only 4 million, that kind of thing, and the guy is always saying that, I do not know how I'm going to achieve 10 million, congratulations, that kind of thing. So yeah, actually, to define it, rather amazing. In fact, my mentor, Three Blind Mice, shout out to him as well. He also commented that I'm insane, crazy, as in the rate that I'm going. But I guess with the amount of time that I've spent or you could spend in game SDFC, you could achieve these kind of achievements too. Okay, I believe the most important thing, the most important factor is you need to have goals in game. Okay, you need to have goals in SDFC. Okay, what do you want to achieve? Because if you don't have goals, you do not have the fighting will or power to achieve them. Okay, so for example, for me, my first goal was to have the Saladin. Okay, and I'd like to take this opportunity to shout out again to Reverend Deuce, because from his videos he actually highlighted, the Saladin is a must-have ship. Okay, it will bring you to the mid 30s or even towards the late 30s as well, and bang for bucks, it is low on maintenance and it performs so well in PvP and PvE as well. It's not really hard to maintain this ship. So I've got this set in mind. My first goal is to get the Saladin. It's not very hard to achieve this. All you need to do is you need to have consort. Consort, if I'm mistaken, is 500k. Is it? Yeah, I think consort is 500k. If I'm mistaken. Sorry, I couldn't remember the figures. Okay, so you need to be a consort, and you only need 20,000 of Federation credits to buy all the blueprints. Okay, to build yourself a Saladin. Okay, so that was my first goal. Now, once I reached my first goal, I went on to my second goal, which was to get 10 million Federation reputation so that I can unlock the Enterprise even before I reach the level of the ops that I am able to build it. Okay, so some of you would have known this, that you will start seeing Enterprise blueprints. Okay, once you are at ops 33 and you're able to build it at ops 34, that kind of thing. Okay, but I wanted to see if, being at a lower ops level, would it help to reduce the amount of credits required to buy them blueprints, because I heard that at ops 34 you need 1,002. Okay, and at ops 31 is also at 1,002. So this rate do not change. Okay, so you do not need to think other ways. You might have to save some credits for other things. Okay, so goals are very important. Okay, like the saying goes, okay, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, so you need to have a plan, and when you have a plan, you work towards it. Then everything becomes much clearer. Your road path is much more narrower, and you'll be more focused in doing what you need to do in game. Okay, so you will not waste time, spending on other activities, doing other things rather than to farm reputation, for example. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And now, since my goal is pretty much fixed at having a Saladin and then Enterprise, it is very clear that I will go forward with the Federation faction. Now, it makes it very easy that, okay, now you have 3 main factions in game: Federation, Klingon, Romulan. So having to the need to focus on Federation, that means you need to hammer either the Klingon or the Romulan to get your points, or to get the amount of reputation, to hit 10M. Okay, it's very simple. But the thing is, which of these faction do you hammer? Do you hammer Klingon or do you hammer the Romulan? Now, if you have watched my previous video on reputation, you would already know that I actually shared that you should only target survey ships, because survey ships, they give the most reputation compared to the explorers, the interceptors, the battleships for the matter. Okay, so the surveys, they give the most points, reputations. Okay, which should help you out. Okay, now to point this out to you, to show you the comparison. Okay, I actually went and dug this, because I didn't do this earlier on, but then somehow I knew. I don't know how it came to me, this knowledge. Okay, so which faction to hammer on, Romulan or Klingon? Okay, so this is Romulan space. So let's just go to Windows A, and just select 26. survey ship. Okay. Now, if you click on rewards, you see that if you kill one Romulan survey ship, it will, it will give you 24 Federation points. Okay. The rest doesn't matter. Okay. Because you are chasing after Federation points, so this one matters the most, I believe. Okay. So 24 Federation points, 26 survey ship. Okay. Now, and if you were to choose another survey ship from the Klingon space, okay, I believe it is Yado. Yeah, let's check this out. 26, yeah, there you go. 26, 46, double the amount. Okay, so which means that if you want to, build up on your Federation reputation, you should just hammer and just focus on hammering the Klingons. Okay. Now, so yeah, there you have it. So you need to have a goal and you need to know which faction to hammer. So you hammer the Klingons, particularly the surveys. Okay. Now, which map to go? I'll touch on that later. Okay. Now, the second most important thing I believe that you should have is the discipline. Okay. Discipline as in every day you spend an amount of runs, and little by little you'll be able to see the result, as time goes on. Okay, because the consistency will bring you there, and because I know how it feels, because by farming reputation on the same system, the same map, it can be very mundane, and it's like a repeated kind of like action kind of thing. So as you go on day by day, it becomes very dull, very boring, and if you do not have this discipline built or inculcated in your mindset, very soon you fall out and you lose interest and you just give up. Okay. Now, how did I go about with the discipline part? Is that every day I'll make sure that I'll do at least 3 runs on my Saladin, from full health bar, until it dies. Okay, 3 times back and forth to the map or to the system that I would be farming in. Okay, and I can go at most like 5, 6, 7. I mean, some days I'll just stick with 3. Some days I can do more. And if you were to do more on certain days, good for you. But on certain days whereby you don't feel like it, you just stick to the minimum 3. And it will, I assure you, carry you there closer to your goal. Okay, day by day. Okay, next I'm going to touch on ships. Now, there are so many ships in game, and not all of them you need to use. Like, you do not need to build all of them. You don't need to tear up all of them, that kind of thing. Okay, some ships you just need to build them to check off certain quests. For example, the Wa class. Yeah, it has been there at the bottom right corner. That reminder, the mission to be completed to build a Wa class. It was there like forever. I didn't check it out, but I built one so that it gets checked, and you see I can build so many more. Okay, now, just based on these figures, you can easily tell that I've been spending a lot of time farming at this level range of these systems, and I've been able to collect so many blueprints for the matter. And if there's a way for me to pass them to you, these blueprints, I would, but unfortunately Scopely has a no trade kind of like system in place, so there's no way of even passing down. Like, if you have a tier 5 ship that someone new in your alliance could use it, you can't just pass it on to him or her, so that it will ease his or her game experience for that matter. Okay, so which were my ships? Okay, now I did have a Max Tala. Okay, I did have one. Okay, and I scrapped the Tala. I didn't have a jellyfish. It's very surprising to most of you. Now, if you are able to get the jellyfish, please do, because this one ship will be able to last you to the early 20s easily, and you will not need to spend a lot of time building a Turas, a Findra, that kind of thing. Okay, you don't need to build all these unnecessary ships. Okay, so for me, I had a Findra, tier 3, I'm mistaken. Turas tier 3 as well. I did not have the jellyfish. I had a max out Tala because it was so cheap to max it out. So I thought, why not? Okay, I just max it out. Okay, I had a Tala and I had a Kira. Now, it is highly recommended that you do not need to build this ship Kira because it just sucks out your resources. Okay, do not build it if possible unless you can't really stand it anymore. Leveling gets very slow, farming gets a little bit very slow, your damage is not going through, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean you can compare a Kira to a Tala, so there's like twice the boost of AP. I mean visually you can see that way. So yeah, Kira. Now a lot of people would go by saying that you should have a WAC class, and yeah, but I didn't have a WAC class. I told you I just built one just to check off that mission thing, okay, on the list. But I went from Kira to Kumari, okay. Now if you so choose to build any of these ships, okay, do not tier it more than 5, okay. So tier 5 is the max that you need to go, because if you were to level it or to upgrade it or to tier it any further, it gets very very expensive. So you do not need that. So you can have just a T5, and then you would have your Vidar, okay. This is one ship that I have, but I didn't find myself using this ship to farm or to gain reputation points, anything. No, I had this ship primarily only for bot and bot alone, okay. So the Vidar, I have then the Saladin, the Sally, where are you, Sally? Oh, I miss Sally. Oh, Sally should be here. Okay, so I have the Saladin. Okay, and my next ship is the Enterprise. Okay, you do not need to build the Mayflower. You don't need to build the Enterprise. You do not need to save all your resources and just dump it into a Saladin, because a Saladin that has this kind of AP, I think it's also not so how to say, it's not so believing to listen to able to talk about selling, because most of the time I start my video with my Sally being destroyed, that kind of thing. Oh, another thing is that you notice that repair takes so much time and instant is 1000. I mentioned this before, not everything in the game is scaled accordingly. Well, it's very hard to scale the currency usage accordingly, okay. So instant 1000 repairs this. What I'll do is I won't go for this because I won't wait. I'll click on repair and I'll ask for help. Now I also would not wait for help, but I'll use this instead. So it takes 7 hours, okay, to repair. 8 hours, speed up is only 50. Bam, there you go. You're welcome, okay. It'll help you save a lot of money instead of just clicking out the 1000 platinum speed ups, that kind of thing. Now my Sally is 1.2 million, and having a Sally at this level, tier 7, okay, tier 7, 1.2 million, you can do a lot of things, and it will affect your whole experience like altogether. So save your resources, do not build unnecessary ships, do not spend on unnecessary things. And yes, talking of which, just because you can, it doesn't mean that you need to, or it doesn't mean you have to. I repeat, just because you can, it doesn't mean that you need to or you have to. What do I mean? Just because you can research something, yes, because you have so much resources lying around, right? Yes, you can research something. You do not need to. You can actually leave some of these like pending. You do not need to, okay? You do not have to max everything out, because some of these researchers, they do carry a bigger amount of points, or they use some resources which are more critical to be used somewhere else. For example, to go onto a different ops, or even to tier up or to buy the upgrades on your favorite ship, your Saladin for the matter, okay. Because for example, look at this research optimization. The next level takes 130 uncommon G3 3 stars crystals, and you will know that it is very hard to get uncommon grade 3 crystals. So save them, use them wisely. Like I say again, just because you can, you do not need 2 or you don't have to. Okay, save them and only to max them up as and when uh, you're required to. Okay, and talking about researchers, you do not need to research everything for every other ships that you do not need to use. Okay, now because I focus on the Kumari, so battleship, I focus on battleships. Battleships, okay, I focus on battleships. You see, even battleship firepower is not max because by the time it was at 4.10, I already gotten my Saladin, and then I started focusing on interceptor instead. Okay, so plan out what do you need to research on, because not everything you need and not everything will be beneficial to you at the point of time. Okay, so just research what you need, the bare minimum, and if you need to, just focus on the ships that you have. So Saladin is an interceptor, you research on that, and the next ship would be an enterprise. Okay, like for me, an enterprise, so my explorer, I have it maxed up accordingly as well. Okay, so yeah, do that, and it will help you to save the amount of resources you need to build up your foundation, and also your ships, your ops, your buildings, your researchers, whatever. Okay, as you go higher in your ops level. Okay, now I've mentioned this before, and many other YouTube content creators also have said this as well, that crew is the is is a very important aspect of the game. Okay, but then since you're doing hostile grinding, there are only like 2 to 3 to choose from, and you don't need much. Okay, on your first set. So I started with this. I didn't have this. Okay, now you also notice that Pike is new. Yes, I just got him like 2 days ago. I've been like trying to crack packs for that 2 last shards on Pike, and it didn't come. Okay, no matter how many packs I crack, ultras I crack, Pike shard just wouldn't come until like 2 days ago. Then I got him. Okay, and yeah, okay, so what officers do you need to start with? You start with the basic, okay, the basic hostile crew. Okay, basic hostile crew, you have Uhura as your captain, and then you have the McCoy, okay, Cadet McCoy, okay, psychic, and then you have Chen or Talan. If you're fighting against interceptors, okay, which you're not because you're gonna hammer on surveys, okay, so you use Chen instead. So this will be your setup on the bridge. Whoever that's down below, you build up on defense, health, and then attack. Okay, go in this manner and it should do you fine. Okay, defense, health, and attack, or some would even argue health, defense, attack. Okay, bottom up. Okay, so your whole intention is that you try to find a way to last as long as possible out there. That means once your ship leaves the station, it should stay out there as long as possible. Okay, until it comes back for refuel, because traveling time, it takes up a lot of time, and it also kills your motivation, your enthusiasm as well. So you will try to want to make them last as long as possible. Okay, so this is the first hostile crew that you start with until you get something better, until Pike comes along. Okay, until Pike comes along, then you have Pike as captain, Moro as his psychic. This should be your second build. And some also would say that, once you have Pike, Moru, and Chen set up, or they abbreviated it PMC, P, Pike, Moru, M, C for Chen. Once you have this set up, you change your whole experience entirely. And I agree, because once you have PMC, what this combination does is it will help you to last much, much longer out there, and it will help you to, last as long as possible without having to make trips back to your base. Okay, and you'll be able to sustain a lot of hits as well, due to their stats. And yeah, ever since I've gotten Pike, I've stuck with PMC like forever. Okay, if you watch my previous video, I used to run Kuron as my captain because of the impulse ability that he's giving. Okay, and I have Talan over here. So what I'll normally use is Kuron, Chen, and Talan. Okay, but since I have Pike now, and I've been comparing it, And PMC, yes, it does perform better. So this will be a second crew. If you don't have it, it's okay. Just use the cadet hostile setup. Okay, it will also do you good. Okay, that's basically what you need. Now, next we move on to maps. Now, I'd like to apologize because I do not really remember how I first started, like which were the click on maps that I first started on, but I think it is along this path, as it enters, and then you slowly go deeper and deeper. I think I've spent some levels at Kitometer, Yado, but if I were to say in some kind of certainty, the maps that I spent a lot of time on would be H. Etoria. Now, please note this down because these are really, really good information which I don't think a lot of people are sharing out there, okay? You spend a lot of time on H. Etoria, or at least I did. Then you move to Karaya, okay? Because H. Etoria has a lot of surveys, okay? The surveys, you see, just at a glance, you have seen one survey, survey as well. Another survey, okay. Yeah, you have a lot of surveys on this map, okay? Surveys. And then Karaya is also another map that is system that's populated with surveys too, okay? See surveys here, surveys there, okay? Surveys. Now, basically, the whole idea or the underlying idea is to find a system that you like, that you can reach quick, fast, okay, and has a lot of surveys in it, okay? So my roadmap was H. Etoria, Karaya, and then I went down here to, where are you? Sorry if this is making you feel dizzy, okay? Yeah. You can either choose this map, Q-Quep, I don't know how you pronounce it, Q-Quep, okay, whatever. You can choose this map. It has also a good amount of surveys, and you have also Klingon Patrol, that mini boss. Yes, you also find one here. Or you can even go to Jiwupu, okay? I spend a lot of time here as well, Jiwupu, okay? So you can either go on to this map or this map, okay? So you go to H-Etoria, then Karaya, and then either one of these two maps, okay? So they have more surveys than the rest, okay? Got it? Yeah, I guess that's it, okay? Now, next, the reputation curve would change or will change when you change your crew. I repeat, your reputation curve will change once you change your crew, okay? Once you change from Cadet Uhura, and once you start using Pike, Moro, and Chen, okay, it will change. So I didn't use PMC until like 7M, okay? So I was at 7M reputation when I got Pike, and then it changed. How did it change? It got faster, simply because I'm able to sustain more damage. I'm taking lesser damage as well. I'm able to last longer, so it helped me to last longer out there and just grinding on reputation points on these two maps, okay? So yeah, it changed. So hang in there, hang on in there. So if you have like hit 2 million, just go on with it until, and keep cracking packs, okay? Those ultra packs until you get your Pike, your Moro, okay? And then yeah, switch to that, and I assure you it will be very, very fast. So yeah, I've like gotten 1 mil in reputation just today. 1 mil, seriously, 1 mil in reputation just today, from 9 to 10, okay? And 8 to 9 was from yesterday, or actually it was 9.5. Actually, you can check back, when I last posted video, I would have shown you a sneak peek on, what reputation I'm like standing at or standing on, and you can actually average it for yourself to see how fast it has been, with Pike on board, okay? So the reputation curve will change. So it will not be long, and it will get much easier. And trust me, other than grinding here, keep doing your dailies, okay? Your daily request, okay, sorry, not here. Keep doing your daily goals, complete all of them. They will contribute to those points as well. Keep doing your faction events, okay, your daily faction events. They'll definitely contribute to it as well. And what else do you need to do? Oh, your refinery. Keep working on the bot refinery as well, because the bot refinery will give you reputations too. So in a day, once you're at ops 30, 29, 30, 31 ish, that kind of thing, if you have a radar that is like of tier 4, you should be getting around 100k of Federation reputation points a day, a daily minimum. Yeah, 100k for free, okay, if you complete all this. So yeah, do that as well. Now, I also like to take this opportunity to clarify a term that I say that, once I think I said something like this: once you hit the 10 million mark, you'll be capped. Okay, what I actually meant was this: is that now, of course, your reputation points will increase until you get celebrated, glorified. Okay, so it keep on increasing, but then it will reach a point whereby the point is at 10 million, whereby if you were to, now, because I've been hammering on Klingon and my federation points should increase, and my next plan or plan of action is to hammer federation instead, so that I can get Romulan to respected as well, okay, to 10 million as well. So when I do that, my federation reputation should decrease, and it did. Okay, so it decreased until to the point of 10 million, and there's a cap. Okay, it will not go down any further. So be rest assured, once you have reached 10 million, you can start focusing on the other factions, just like I would be doing, okay, from today onwards, because yeah, so that will lead us to the next part of this video. So what? Okay, so what? Now I've been filled, I have this motivation, this adrenaline rush, whatever you call it, okay, to get to 10 million. Okay, I've been running more than 3 runs a day, okay, farming reputation points, okay, of federation. I've been doing much more than just 3 rounds, because I was so close, and I hit 10 million today. And when I did, okay, I'm still at 31, okay, ops 31. I'm still at ops 31, you see. I can't build my enterprise yet, simply because even though I may have the reputation to do so, I still lack the blueprints, and they are so expensive. It's like 1,002 credits each for one blueprints. I even thought of farming at a system that drops these blueprints, but because these are epics, chances of them dropping is like very low, so it doesn't make sense. But of course it's possible, to farm them and then to, yeah. So I was thinking, like, so thoughts that went through my mind, earlier today. Now it's 11:26 p.m. right now. So earlier today, when I hit the 10 million mark, the thoughts that were like running through my mind was like, I don't think I'll be building my enterprise that soon. Well, unless some of you generous and would like to help me out, would like to bless me in, monetary means, I do welcome that. Let me know if you're interested. But if I'm just relying on grinds and daily rewards harvesting, I've punched the numbers in. It'll take me about 5 to 7 months from today. Only then I'll be able to build my enterprise. That's why I put that in it's like, so what? I can't have it right now. It is so sad. And I'm at 31. I need to be at 34 in order to build it. And that's if I have all the blueprints. So what? So I guess for me right now, I'm gonna concentrate on doing my dailies, and I'm gonna start building on Romulan. Okay, Romulan. I heard that Romulan would have the good ships at higher tiers as well. And three blind mice told me the Pilum, it is a ship that is worth going after. Pilum. I don't know how you pronounce it, okay? Pilum, okay? It's a G4 ship, and there's this thing that's going around saying that the economy at G4 is like impossible because it's very hard for you to just repair your ships at G4, that kind of thing. The resources are not coming enough. Your dailies that you need to do, they are just not enough, that kind of thing. Uh, but he said this, that given the age of the server, because my server is actually quite new. It's an Apex server, and many are still at very, very low levels, and I'm still at number one, leading the flock, hopefully showing them how to do certain things, that kind of sharing thoughts, ideas, knowledge. So it wouldn't like put much of a scratch on the body of the pilum, even if I were to use it. So I wouldn't need to like be burdened with a lot of maintenance, that kind of thing. So yeah, I guess that's it. This is a very, very long video, and I thank you for staying up to this point. And on a very serious note, if you do consider on helping me out, yeah, do let me know. Hook me up, okay? By commenting on in the comment section of on YouTube or even Discord, okay? Hold me up, and then we see how we can work things out. And yeah, the least I can do is I can give a shout out, and when you know uh, I can finally build the enterprise, I'll make sure that your names are being mentioned as well. Okay, so yeah, this is it. I guess that's the next path that I will embark on. That's my new goal, which I have decided on today, because there's nothing much I can do unless I so decide to pour in money. Three blind mice told me that you need at least $1,000 to build, to buy the blueprints of the enterprise. Like it's like 15 blueprints for $100, that kind of thing. It's like wow. And then the amount of blueprints that you need is 150. It's like crazy amount of blueprints. Okay, so it's like it's like $1,000 just to build that ship. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit on the subscribe button if this has helped you. Okay, and I hope that this have actually helped you to see your path, the roadmap before you, much clearer. Okay, will help you to achieve that 10 million milestone. And yeah, go ahead and start setting your goals right now, and do remember, hit the like button and share this video with any people around you who you think that will benefit from it as well. So yeah, see ya. Live long and prosper.